the Paloni Show Halloween Special is an hour-long variety special featuring of various animated shorts from all kinds of creators that we are big fans of. And it's hosted by characters voiced by Justin and Zach Hadel and Pamela Adlon, who get roped into their own crazy adventure while the show goes on.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, he did it beautifully. Yeah, it's 3 characters hosting a variety thing, and we throw to different shorts, all different styles. Halloween horror comedy, I would say, for most of the stuff. Like you mentioned, some of the shorts are a little more comedy-oriented, some are more horror-oriented. Not horror-oriented, horror-oriented. So next show, it could be both.
We had lots of shorts that were just horror.
Horror-oriented, we had to cut all the horror skits. So,
horror skits.
But the remaining stuff is horror-oriented, comedy stuff. So, if you like animation, if you like horror, maybe give it a shot. If you don't like it, turn it off and watch something else.
We're hoping it'll be a great place for people to get turned on to new creators that we're big fans of, and maybe incubate more new ideas one day.
Awesome. I'm curious in terms of where it came from. It seemed, you don't always see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
That was quick.
Yes, it was.
Sorry. You mentioned a lot of younger, newer creators involved in the project. How did they become involved? Was there an application process? Did they show up on somebody's radar? How did that all come about?
Mostly
to
Justin.
Showcase their talent.
Justin is he's a big YouTube guy, and he's very involved in just like the animation world and looking at meeting new people and new contacts, as is Zach. And there's just a lot of people came from that space of just Justin's kind of digital Rolodex of people who he wants to work with and who he's a fan of.
Cool.
Yeah. Like Simon Hanselman, who created Megmog and Owl, which is a long-running comic series. This is the first time we're bringing that to life as in an animated medium, which is really, really exciting. They have a huge fan base and big following for Simon, and Simon was so wonderful to work with, and that was a great example of something that Justin is a huge fan. He's got originals from Simon in his house, and he's like, we're going to make this animation, it's super exciting, and to see Justin be so excited about something like that was really rewarding. And then to become a fan of Simon myself after not even being exposed to it, I felt like I was the future audience watching this, being like, what is this? And then diving into Simon's world and opening up his, massive catalog of comics he's been working on over the last decade.
So is that part of the goal from the start of giving these creators a bigger platform?
Absolutely. I think the dream would be 2 things. One, for people to be inspired by watching this because they know that some of these people were just YouTube creators who are now getting a slot on Hulu, and for people to be inspired enough to make their own content. And the other part would be to give creators who are just more small time an opportunity to reach a really big audience and to potentially incubate their concepts into bigger ideas one day.
Are there plans to do more? This is the Halloween special. Is there a chance that this is going to become a regular thing, or is it going to depend? What's the plan?
President's Day. They meet all the presidents, all 46 presidents. Yeah. Actually, there's 45 men who've been president. 46. We're not. We're talking about what is it? Grover Cleveland. So yeah. Anyways, the point is, we could go bananas with it. There's many opportunities.
Either we make more holiday specials that are revolved around specific holidays, which would be a lot of fun, or it becomes a series, and it's like an adult kablam that has recurring shorts from our favorite creators and new stuff, and maybe stuff we've written ourselves. Either way, the Palonis themselves will get dependably wrapped up into some crazy kind of shenanigans they have to deal with while hosting the show.
Was there a bit of a world that Justin created? Because I feel like in terms of the reference, the page I run it's more based in the past, but I wrote down there's Leatherface. There's one of the segments that was very Pee-wee's Playhouse. I love that there's a line where it's like Weekend at Bernie's by Jim Henson. I felt that there's Hellraiser, there's Beetlejuice. Was that purposeful in the overall picture of it, or is that just what these folks came up with?
Anything in the Paloni Show was very purposeful. Justin is a massive horror fan, as am I.
Child's Play is a verb.
Yeah.
When we were writing it, I was rewatching all the Child's Play movies, and I was very, very involved in that headspace. And it was so fun to be able to bake in these moments that harken back to the movies that we love so much.
Yeah.
Anything that happens with any of the creator shorts was purely coincidental with Leatherface.
Yeah, or whatever they wanted to do. So there probably are references in those, but that was whatever they felt like they wanted to throw in there. And
the Leatherface cancer segment was just brilliant and insane.
He's Rubberface is his name.
Well,
Yeah. For legal reasons. For legal reasons, they're not even
but
sort
I just
of
thought that was the one thing. But as soon as that was over,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his fetish.
it was really.
I'm sorry, just one last question, please.
One thing I was wondering is, so I know on Smiling Friends you worked with Gilbert Gottfried, you played God in an episode, and then you worked with him on this as well. So I just wanted to hear like what your experience working with him was like, now that he's passed, and if that was a really creatively invigorating experience.
Absolutely. Well, so my experience at Smiling Friend, I've been a huge Gilbert Gottfried fan for years. Not only of hearing his voice growing up, I'm like a '90s kid, so obviously Aladdin, all that stuff, all the shows he was on. But then I found his comedy stuff, him on Norm Macdonald's podcast, his stand-up, him on Howard Stern, and I just became a massive fan. And we had like a list of people for Smiling Friends. We really wanted to get it. It was like him, Norm Macdonald, and a couple other people. Norm Macdonald obviously passed away, but we got to work with Gilbert Gottfried, and I slept through the recording because it was like he was in New York, I was in LA, and Michael was in Australia, and so they gave me the New York time. So I missed it basically, and that was a whole chaotic thing where Michael got on, they didn't know it was supposed to be recording. His wife was like, "Are we gonna do this?" And she had to dig out a tape recorder. So that was chaos. So I unfortunately didn't get much interaction with him. And then for this special, Gilbert did a voice for Brian Weissel, one of the guys' shorts, and I wasn't really around for that either. So
yeah, he was really humbling to work with. Super, super nice, and wasn't the kind of actor to come in and give you one or two takes and then be like, no, that's what you got. He was really working with Brian. He didn't know who Brian was and was very, very willing to kind of work with him in whatever he needed to make the short come to life. And we were very deeply saddened to hear that he passed about 2 weeks after we recorded him.
Yeah, he's a comedy genius. I'll be missed.